Hello, all. Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and I am making a part two of a previous video that I did on the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. The reason I haven't made a video sooner is because I've been tuning in every day on the issue and not getting anything new or different. But today I was able to get a little bit more. And for those of you who are just finding this for the first time, please feel free to go to my channel, The Black Feather Intuitive, and click on the Nancy Guthrie video, The Disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. On there, it's an 8-minute video detailing information that I got a couple of weeks ago already, I believe, or a week and a half ago. I woke up with it in a dream. Today, I didn't wake up with it in a dream, but I was given what I call waking visions. So a lot of you asked me if I could tap into the kidnappers and see what I could get around that. I've been asking for a while, so all I can give you is what I'm getting. So I made some notes here. I'm going to just kind of walk through these notes, and I'm hoping that it's going to provide some level of help or support. So she did come to me, and she wants everyone to know that she is not stressed. She's not in pain. She is at rest. She wants her family, including her daughter, to know that she loves them and that she is okay. Now, when I say okay, I feel that she has transitioned. She is no longer on this planet. This is a psychic reading, so take what works for you, leave the rest behind. I could be right, I could be wrong. It's just what I'm getting. So there were 2 to 3 people involved in the kidnapping. I kept hearing the word plot being said, so there was intention to take her. I got that we'll all be surprised when everything comes out. We'll all be surprised at the actual reason. It's not what everybody thinks. I did get in the previous video that she heard something she wasn't supposed to hear, and that's what put her into jeopardy. I got a little bit further, a little more information on that today, that she overheard an argument that was connected to someone, two individuals planning another crime, the committing of another crime, and they were planning that. And she overheard it, and that's what got her into trouble. What crime, I'm not clear on. But it was a premeditated kidnapping. But I did get that one person messed up the actual kidnapping. They had a plan to go after her, and I kept seeing this syringe, and it was like, if I could give you the impression, and I'm going to give you a trigger warning here, as I do with any of these videos. I'm going to do my best not to be graphic. I'm just giving you what I get. Their intention was to give her a syringe that would knock her out, right? That would put her to sleep, in essence. And the individual that was supposed to do this was supposed to come up behind her and get it done before she knew what was going on. And they messed up. And I see that they tripped. They tripped over themselves. They tripped over their feet. They did something, because I feel that there were 2 individuals in the home when this occurred. And as a result, she was able to bite the hand of the person that was, coming around to her. So that, again, that's connected to the previous video. So there was a syringe. She bit the hand. They were just trying to knock her out at that time. I'm getting there were 2 men and 1 woman in the know about it. I'm getting a black and blue van with 1 hubcap that is different from the other 3. There's a funky smell in the van. I kept getting like old fish. It made me want to kind of vomit, just that old fish smell. So maybe it was a van that was transporting frozen fish or frozen goods at some point. It was a box van, is what I was getting. And then at one point, they transferred her from that box van into a larger gray sedan. Feels like it was an older style sedan, kind of like maybe like a Crown Vic or an Imperial or something along those lines. I'm not really great with cars. It was just old, like I want to say maybe 15 or 20 years old, and it was big. It was large. I kept seeing this thin black cable wire that was used in the commission of the crime to tie things up. I'm seeing that also the ransom request it's a distraction. It was an afterthought. That wasn't originally part of the plan, but now it's here. It's almost like they kind of messed some things up. It didn't go according to plan, as kind of I mentioned in the first video. And so now the ransom was, okay, well, what do we do? We've got to come up with something to buy us some time, to cover this up. And so I feel that the ransom request was an afterthought. There are two men right now that are going to work as normal to keep up appearances. One person, I only got information on the one person, one of the men, feels like a mechanic of some kind or works in a mechanical area. Could be aerial mechanics, working on planes, or it could be cars or trucks, something along those lines. But I kept getting like a mechanic shop. This individual works about 20 to 25 miles west of Nancy Guthrie's home. The woman that I see connected to this didn't commit anything with this crime, but is in the know. So I would say complicit, maybe, I won't say after the fact, because I feel like she knew that this was going down. So she's part of the planning, or at the very minimum, in the know about what's going on. She is not in the area. She's in another state. Someone is making arrangements to leave the country with these three. I feel like they're trying to disband the group, so to speak, and trying to go to different locations so that they can not look so obvious, so that they can be, harder to track. One person has already left the area. So there's a person that is going to work, this mechanic. The other guy, I feel, has been going to work to try and keep up appearances and has recently relocated and gone to another state. This could be beneficial, a beneficial clue for anyone who may have had an employee, a male employee who's pretty stocky build, a pretty big guy. I want to say 5'10", 5'11", broader shoulders. If you've recently had an employee suddenly just kind of up and quit because they're relocating, that might be something that you may want to mention to the police if you have any suspicions around that. Still seeing her. Okay, so relating to the previous video, again, trigger alert warning here. So please don't watch this video if it's going to upset you in any way. I'm still being shown that she is in a shallow grave near a highway. I did get a little more detail, just a little more detail on the highway. It's an overpass that has diagonal designs on it. So I kept seeing bricks and block in these sort of diagonal patterned, in a diagonal pattern design. And I kept seeing, no surprise, I mean, it's the desert. So of course there's going to be brown, but it felt like a darker brown, like a chocolate brown almost was the design in amongst the sort of the sand and the beige color. I kept getting that this overpass is 2 miles from a cross street. So again, if you watch the first video, you'll get more of the detail of what I was receiving. And now I'm getting that area is 2 miles. You have to drive 2 miles before you get any kind of cross street where there's life, where there's, stores and restaurants and homes and things of that nature. So it is definitely a little bit out of the way. I also got this really interesting piece of information, and please know that I'm not following along with this case. I don't watch anything on the Nancy Guthrie case other than when I found out about it, I saw that they had arrested someone or not arrested someone. They brought someone in for questioning and then later released that person. And I also saw that there was a video clip of a person of interest that came up to her home and they got it on the Ring doorbell or whatever. So that's the extent of my knowledge. This is all just what's coming through. So I got that there is a red bandana or a piece of a red bandana found on Nancy's property that I feel is going to have some DNA that can be traced through one of the Ancestry.com or 23andMe services to find a family connection. So the person that was wearing the bandana, who I feel perpetrated this terrible act, is not in the system, but has a relative who they have the DNA, and there's going to be some kind of a DNA match that they're going to be able to make. This will also help to make a direct connection to one of the kidnappers eventually. And let me see. Oh no, I already said that. Overheard an argument over the planning of a crime. So I know this feels very like, okay, what are we supposed to do with this? And I just want to say, for those of you who aren't psychic or don't have that psychic ability, or maybe just aren't very familiar with how this works, honestly, we only get what we get. I'm not going to make something up. I'm not going to, if you ask me a question and I get nothing for that, or I don't have an answer for you, I don't receive something, I'm not going to make it up. I'm going to be honest with you about what it is that I get. And even though I'm looking at all of this stuff and I'm asking them, can you give me, more detail, more pointed detail? Can you help me with cross streets? Can you give me specifics? This is the way that my guides communicate. I get it in snapshots. I get it in pictures in my mind, like on a movie screen. And this one, I kind of, sort of did like an automatic writing, wrote things out as they came. So I'm hoping that it helps. And for those of you who've put in the comments before, you need to call the police and let the police know. Police have been notified, tip lines have been called, people have been called. Unfortunately, law enforcement does not always trust psychic guidance. And so, it is what it is. But I am putting it out there in the hopes that this is beneficial, that maybe there's, one small thing or two small things in here amongst many other pieces of evidence or clues that can help to put the pieces together and bring poor Nancy home. And again, sending lots of love to Nancy's family, sending love to her. This is a horrific, horrific act. And my heart just goes out to everyone. Nobody should have to go through this ever at all. And so my thoughts are with Nancy and her family. That's what I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching the video. Check back in for more. Like I said, I'll continue to do videos as long as I'm, receiving messages and information, because my only goal here is to help and to be of service. Take care, guys. Have an amazing day as much as you can. Hug your family members, hug your friends, soak it all in, because it all matters. All right, take care. Transform.